It's been about 6 months, I think, since this mountain was shrink-wrapped, and it's time for me to start taking this glass down, because despite the fact that, yeah, preservation has been my whole shtick so far this season, I kind of have plans for this area, to maybe preserve them in terms of historical context more so than just what the world is like. And as you can see over here, I've started reshaping this mountain plateau. In fact, this whole thing is going to have to be reshaped a certain amount because I am planning on building a castle up here, and it's going to take some doing. A long time ago, I decided to build my nether portal, including the portal to the nether roof, inside of a tower that I said was going to become part of a larger castle, and that project really begins today, or I suppose it's already begun, if we were counting the landscaping in amongst the effort required for that. So today is the day I stop leaning on preservation as my crutch. It's less of an excuse now, and sometimes, to be honest, it kind of gets in the way of what I like to do in Minecraft, which is just to be a builder. So today I'm going to spend a lot of time doing menial tasks like this. We're going to get rid of all of the glass, we're going to continue the cliff face, we might flatten out some of the landscape around here, and I want to start shaping the landscape down here to fit the idea that this is a castle on a cliff top. But that's not going to be as entertaining for you folks to watch, and so what I thought I could do for the rest of this video is spend some time tying up a few loose ends. And those really concern the museum, because there are a couple of exhibits there that need completing. For a start, I have still not solved the mystery of exactly where my emerald ore block went, my deep slate emerald, after it was stolen from the museum, and secondly, Rendog, having departed this server for his homeland of Hermitcraft, has left a bunch of his giblets from the full set that I still need to collect out there in the wilderness of the Empire's server, waiting for me to find them. And so a bit of exploration is going to be required to gather up those things and finally put them where they belong, in pride of place as a museum exhibit. So in the next couple of clips, if you see the landscape changing around here in the background of some of those, do not worry, it's all according to plan. So I guess the first place I better check is Rendogs Island, formerly the site of Rendog's starter house, although that ended up getting transplanted to Hermitopia via the medium of some kind of magical spells, and I presume Ren has left some stuff here. Oh, I assume that's been fished up from this little fishing dock over here. But it looks like there is a floating head hanging in the smoke above these campfires, and it would seem to be that this, yes! Oh, that's it! That's Rendog's first crafting table. Well, fantastic. We have one of the artifacts. I don't know how I should indicate that I've got this one already. I wonder if I've got anything from my cliff box that could work for that. Maybe we'll change the barrel out for moss to indicate that there is no longer something here, and maybe that, like, it's kind of overgrown, you know? In fact, I wonder if he has any bone meal in any of these chests. There's a fair amount of stuff that's just been left around. A very organized little farm out here. I kind of like the fact that he's got the logs all the way around. Reminds me of one of those village farms. And it looks like there's also some sculk catalysts still around here. Well, maybe we'll leave those for posterity as well. A quick trip back to the capital to get some bone meal, and I feel like spreading a little moss around here in Ren's absence. It's kind of spreading out from the center, maybe even providing a natural barrier against the spread of skulk over here. And while I'm at it, I think I'll bring Ren's player head down to ground level as well. We'll still leave it floating above there, but that can signify that this one is taken care of. And if I was Ren, which way would I go next? Directly east is back towards civilization. It feels like he would probably want to go west, north, or south. So I'm going to try flying north and see if that gets me anywhere. Aside from raiding a couple of nether portals, my northbound flight has not been all that productive. I don't think he's headed out this way, or if he has, he's headed out in a slightly different direction. But I'm kind of wondering if searching at night might be a better idea, because it seems like Ren has done the decent thing and marked each of these locations with campfires, which should mean they're a little bit easier to spot from the air at night. And the smoke rising from them would be easy enough to spot during the day, but it'll be even easier to spot at night when it's all glowy and lit up. But still, as always, this server has some spectacular terrain. I love the valleys created by these mountains. There's so much unexplored out here, as long as Rendog hasn't been here anyway. But we're going to return to Ren's Island and pause here for a second just to take a quick pit stop and refill my fireworks. And also, while I think of it, stash Ren's first crafting table somewhere a little safer. And then we're going to fly west, because this is one of the less explored directions on the server, so there's a chance nobody else has run into Ren's giblets while they've been out here. And I've taken a trip to the Ender at this point to repair my elytra and my tools from flying around and all of the construction I've been doing over at the ancient capital, but that made me wonder, do you reckon he's left them in the Nether and the End as well? Whoa, and that portal really kicked me out. Hello? Well, that was unfortunate. Luckily, I had some fireworks on me. I don't immediately see a giblet around here, and I doubt he would have bothered to go far in the end. But I might as well check the other portals just in case. After all, we have generated a couple of them, and one or two of them do have trapdoors here, which means people have been using them. And there are torches out here, which could point me in the right direction. No! Wait a minute! There is one here! Oh, unbelievable. This is in the middle of nowhere as well. I was just flying around looking for cities. Figured I might do some ender raiding while I was here. What? Ren's first cooked pork chop? Oh, you little stinker. Okay, right. Well, we can do the same thing we did before. We'll put some moss here to signify that we have... You know what? Maybe we can put some azalea leaves or something here instead. Kind of got the purple thing that the End has going on. And can I reach the player head from here? There it is, folks. The first pork chop. That one's going in the bundle. Actually, I've got my ender chest here. It's going in the ender chest. Next to the crafting table, we've got number 2 and number 6 in the set. Let's see if we can grab any others. And I'm fairly certain he wouldn't have stashed any more out here in the End. It seems kind of like an obscure place to go. He's definitely more inventive than that. I think he might have put one in the Nether as well. One thing's for sure, I'm going to need to have a lot of fireworks on hand to explore the Nether, and I don't think he would have left it on the Nether roof either, because that's not all that exciting, but the Nether cavern, that's going to be a place to search. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. All right, we'll give it our best shot. There's some skulk here, though, and that's not a possibility I'd even considered. I believe this is Gobland's Hoglin farm, although kind of barren at this point, it looks like. And there's some skulk has spread around here already, so maybe once the Hoglin population has been killed off, maybe by some local piglins that have spawned, that has spread the skulk around here as well. Well, thankfully no one cares as much about the Nether as they do about their builds in the overworld, so I'm going to leave that well enough alone for now. But in the meantime, how on earth am I going to find something Rendog has left out in this absolute wasteland? We've got the full height of the cavern to consider as well, although I don't think he would have left it in a Crimson or a Warped Forest. That seems a little bit too cruel. Well, Soul Sand Valley is a possibility, but the Nether Wastes seems like the most likely location for it. Yeah, somewhere around here seems like it'd do the job, but I'm not seeing anything that looks too man-made. It's going to be so difficult to spot campfires, though, with all of the fire around here. At this point, I'm pretty convinced that he wanted me to die in lava looking for this one. I'm killing every ghast I see on sight because I have this terrible vision that one of them would just send a stray fireball in whatever direction, and it would happen to alight on the island where Rendog had placed his last giblets. The biggest problem with the Nether for me is that there's no way of searching systematically. I just feel like I'm going around in circles here. Unbelievable. Ren? Ren, this is in the middle of nowhere, Ren. How was I supposed to have found this? Well, I have, but I mean, what are these coordinates even? I have gone round in circles I don't know how many times, but I found it. I found the gunpowder from Rendog's first creeper kill. And how appropriate that it's gunpowder here in the Nether, with all these ghasts flying around that could have destroyed it at any moment. Numbers 2, 6, and 11 in the set are now mine. I really hope this shulker box doesn't somehow fall into lava. There we go. It is safe. And I really hope this is the only one he hid in the Nether. Folks, I'm going to straight up pour lava on this one, although it seems incredibly unlikely that we'll ever see it again. There it is for now. And yes, I suppose we better safely retrieve the player head as well. There he goes. The smoke building up underneath him. He can steam in his lava bath for a little while. Now, how the heck do I find my way home? Oh, this looks like someone's safe Nether tunnel. Hopefully this leads back to a portal. Or does it lead down to a netherite mine? Yep, definitely looks like a netherite mine to me. Not to worry. I'm learning so much about the server on this trip, though. Maybe the whole point of this was so that I could appreciate the journey rather than the destination. Although right now I really feel like I'd appreciate a trip home. Oh, this is Shovel's Fortress. This is the one with all the moss everywhere. Okay, great. I know my way home from here. Portal should be over here on the right. Yes, perfect. All right, we're home. Or at least we're at the Mesa, where... Wait a second. What season even is this? Why is the copper cod here? Tumbletown is just getting more and more surreal as we go. The heck is this? Anyway, speaking of going home, I should probably count up which of Rendog's giblets I have so that I know how many others to go looking for. Let's put away some of these fireworks and then let's line them all up in the preservation kit and we'll see how many we have. So I've got Ren's first crafting table here. We have his first dirt, the lever that Scott Smager crafted out of his first cobblestone. We've got his first wooden pickaxe there, and his first ore. We also now have the first cooked pork chop, and his first creeper kill. So we are still missing a few from this set here. Some of them must be out here in the overworld, so I'm going to have to ask around and see if anybody else has caught sight of them. Although I am now wondering if anything was left inside of his starter house in Hermitopia. Unfortunately for me, Hermitopia has been surrounded in a completely impregnable glass case, and it's kind of a miracle that I was able to get in. Goodbye and thanks for all the fish. An armor stand surrounded by item frames. Well, if there was some stuff in here, it looks like it's already been looted. It doesn't seem like he's left anything around the outside of the house either. Nothing in the fireplace. There isn't a basement. I don't see anything in the roof space. No, okay, it looks like he hasn't left anything here. Although maybe Pirate Joe might know something about Rendog's giblets. Okay, so at this point I was getting desperate, and I ended up resorting to some, let's call it archive footage of Rendogs, aka his episodes, and I found this. Do you know how hard it is? Like, even with the video open on the monitor next to me, do you know how hard it is to actually find these locations if you don't have coordinates or anything? I think it shows most strongly in the fact that this location right here is really only a couple of hundred blocks from my base, and yet, flying around as much as I just have, I could not find this at all. But now I have. And inside of here is what I've been looking for. The first item in the set, Rendog's first acacia log. I'm so happy to finally have that. And he's even left a jelly cat here. I'm not sure this is the best home for it, but I guess the least I can do is make sure this cat's comfortable. So here's a nice cozy cat bed for you, and we'll see if there's anybody else who needs you. I think to replace this one, I'm going to put this gold block in here, because I've been continuing to raid the nether portals just in case, just in case there are any enchanted golden apples or anything, but I think this one deserves pride of place since it's the first in the set. And seriously, look how close this is to my base where I've been landscaping the terrain. It's right there! I can almost spot it standing on this cliff right here, if not for the distance fog. Unbelievable! And so the set is finally coming together, aside from the cobblestone, which has already come together with a stick. But according to my notes, I am missing his first bed, his first bow, the salmon head that he wrested from the killer salmon. I've got the gunpowder, and then after that, it's some iron boots and his first diamond, so I'm missing a whole bunch of these still. I will ask my server mates, but the set is still far from done, so if you have any leads on any of those, you better let me know, folks. So a little birdie has told me that Gobland is a good place to look for missing artifacts and things that might have found their way onto the black market. And so I'm going to pay the goblins a little visit and see if any of Rendog's giblets have made their way into that collection. So this must be the market, I guess. Gobland has been thriving since I was last here, so this place looks incredible. But this is, oh, and they're right here. Hermit artifacts, 5 blocks of raw gold. All goods sold for raw blocks of gold? Are you serious? Okay, well, that's a lot of Rendog stuff. And this, I knew it. This is what I'm looking for right here. Hello? Is that the proprietor I hear outside?
Hello, do we have a visitor in Gobland? Hi!
I'm here.
First customer, come on in. Let me just shut that door. How
Thank
you
you
doing? You like rare artifacts. You're a collector. You got a museum.
Yeah, and I happen to be in the market for these in particular. This is some
Rendog's first armor.
Yes.
Well,
so
I've got a whole set right over there. This is a Rendog Gigabox Prime untouched relic from Hermitopia.
There's an ender pearl that just says cat toys. I have no idea what the story is behind
You know what? That's a rare Joe Hill's artifact from Hermitopia. So, not only Rendog bits and bobs in here, we've got Joe Hill's, and I don't know if those are yours already, but I'll let you hold them again.
This was in the box, and I'm more than willing
yes,
to...
naturally. Yeah, I'm very aware of the stock I have in this place. Yes. So as you can see here, we in Gobland, we're so rich in diamonds. We live under the mountain. We got all the diamonds we could ever need, all the emeralds we could ever need from the mines. So we deal in blocks of raw gold here because we're trying to get more raw gold in Gobland. Fair warning before we start talking about prices. So this guy here's 5 blocks of raw gold, shulker box included. Over here we have the rare, one-of-a-kind Rendog's first mob head. Right there. Look at that.
Okay. You've got that Rendog artifact as well, but I've just noticed this.
Yes. This was dug up from the great Gobland emerald mine that I previously mentioned. We're just so rich in emeralds, and this was the first deep slate emerald ore to come out of Gobland. Very unique and rare, so it's 20 blocks of raw gold ore.
No, wait a second. I recognize this. How did this end up in your possession? Because I swear there's no emerald
From the
mining
Goblin mines.
Mining
Here,
operation.
come.
Look, no. I recognize the striations. I've made careful study of this particular configuration of emerald and deep slate.
This came directly out of a Goblin minecart coming out of the ore. See, I can show you the authentic one. It's right around the corner. It was this very one over here. If you just step right into the other shop that we have of the shiny shop, this right here is the very minecart that brought that deep slate emerald ore to the surface. The very first one in Gobland.
I'm not sure I buy that.
Well, if you don't buy that, do you want to buy some emeralds?
I mean, I'm good for emeralds. I'm more interested in reclaiming an
back
artifact.
to the rare bits and bobs. Yeah. Rare artifacts.
This was stolen from my museum, and honestly,
really? Wow.
I really wish
interesting.
I had taken more security measures and geotagged it or something. Because honestly, like I should have taken a rubbing at least or something. But man, that is my deep slate emerald ore. I don't know how it's ended up here.
It's available for 20 blocks of raw gold if you'd like to get your hands on it. Also, if you'd like to, we have some ancient city loot. If you're trying to create a compass to like recover lost things, you could take some of these. You can even create a music disc for yourself if you'd like to buy some of those over there.
Yeah, see, the museum already has a recovery compass and a music disc, and I bet if I took down that recovery compass, it would probably point directly to this. But it's a long way to the ancient capital from here, so I need to.
Well, if you're interested in that, also for 2 blocks of raw gold each. These are like mystic future seeing devices here. The little micro blocks of the skulk and the deep slate lapis. Very, very rare. Very rare. Only 2 blocks of raw gold for them.
I feel like that's probably more like witch material than it is archaeologist material. So I'm not sure if seeing the future
it could be great for a museum. I'm just saying you could have a whole display section.
Definitely more interested in the past than the future, and specifically the past of this block in particular. So I don't know. I don't know if 20 blocks seems right to reclaim stolen property. I'm thinking we maybe need to halve that, and then I'll say no. We don't need to involve.
Have it.
We don't need to involve Judge Riffs in this because the legal proceedings are going to cost you more than 20 blocks of gold. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it did come out of the Goblin Emerald mines though, so that's what I got. So all right, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. You can get that for 10, but then you also have to buy both of the Rendog bits. For that's 5 and that one's 7, so 17 blocks of raw gold in total.
Okay, now you've got yourself a deal, because the Rendog stuff is also what I'm here for. I am so close to completing the full set of Rendog's first artifacts, and these
there you go. Yeah. Low price of 17 blocks of raw gold, and it's all yours.
That sounds ideal. I think we will have to make a deal there. I just need to recover these artifacts as soon as possible. So I guess, obviously, payment on
I got a lot of other buyers, so make sure you come back quickly. We've got a lot of other interested customers that really are interested in getting their hands on all these things. The storefront's very busy. You can just hear the line
just out of
in front, all that murmuring.
Who's interested in the deep slate emerald ore?
Oh, just people around, a lot of other nation rulers. The god in the sky, he really likes rare, shiny things, so he's kind of interested in it. Yeah, the little sheriff, he's kind of interested in getting his hands on, just the people around the server. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I might have to be back later today just to make sure that neither of those get their hands on it, because I can't imagine wanting to bargain with any of those guys. The goblins, on the other hand, shrewd bargainers, but I think that's an honest profession.
Yeah. Come on back whenever. We're always here to make a deal.
All right. I'll be back with raw golds. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave town. Okay. That. I think we somehow got ourselves a deal, and. Are there 17 blocks of raw gold in? No, I couldn't possibly. I could not possibly dismantle the statue. I've kept this thing safe from pirates, from all kinds of gold thieves that are apparently prowling the server. Let's see what we've got in my reserves. Now, which chest did I dedicate to gold in here? Oh, we're actually not that far off. Okay, we've got 11. We've got 19 right there, and we could craft a few more out of the blocks of regular... You know what? I think we can spare this from the capital's treasure trove, and I'm sure we could go and find ourselves a Mesa that we could go and, get a couple more blocks of raw gold from. It is still nighttime outside, but we need to head back over to Gobland right away. But the sun is coming up, and I better hope nobody has sniped my beard in the meantime. It's still there. Okay, perfect. Right, we have everything we paid. I walked off with the boots. I didn't even realize. Okay, let's see. Rendog's first mob head, and... At long last, reunited with my deep slate emerald ore, emerald mines in a Gobland. gosh. Okay,
Oh my gosh, the customer, you're back. Hi, how you doing?
I'm back, and I have brought payment. I have 17 blocks of raw gold. And am I understanding that the Hermit Artifact shulker box is all for 5 blocks of raw gold? Was that the deal?
Yes. Yeah. The whole thing.
Including the authentic Joe Hill's modified ender pearl situation?
You can take the whole box. The box itself is the 5 blocks and everything inside.
All right. Well, you've got yourself a deal. I have my Deep Slate Emerald ore. At long last, it's returned. And I've got Rendog's first mob head and first armor. Right here, 17 blocks of raw gold, all yours.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And I'm just going to put a little bit more stock up here. And, if you're interested in buying anything, we got plenty more to go around.
Yeah, well,
all rare, super rare artifacts.
Yeah, I'll
Very
see if
unique.
I'll see if I find my way back in here. But in the meantime, pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you. Welcome back in Gobland anytime.
Finally, after all this time, reunited with my Deep Slate Emerald ore. I'm so happy with that, and we have, at last, a decent amount of Rendogs giblets to put together. Let's see what we have now. We've got basically 10 of them. We've got 1 through 5, we've got 6, we're missing 7 and 8, we have 9, 10 is right here, and then we have 11, 12, and I believe there was a 13th. So we are only missing 3. And I believe one other person on the server at least knows where one of those is. So I will hopefully get in touch with them really soon. But for now, at least we can triumphantly return to the museum, where I think the alarm bell is ringing. Hang on a second. What is going on in here? The security door hasn't... well, it looks like it has fallen. There should be a lot more anvils here. What is going on? Okay, I should just be able to flip one of these levers and turn everything off. Nope. Okay, the bell is still just ringing. Joe didn't exactly give me precise instructions on this. I'm not entirely certain where the bell is, actually. I think it might be under the ground, because I certainly don't see it up there in the roof space. And now it's just kind of gone off. Okay, if I dig down and... yep, it's these 2 bells. Okay. And that's just being triggered over and over again by one of these skulk sensors. All right, let's turn this off manually for now, because I think the bells are actually re-upping the skulk sensors every time, which is what's causing them to ding so much. And I'll put these blocks back, which isn't triggering the sensors, because this is a pretty sophisticated system, actually. It's based on whether or not a block is broken in the vicinity, which it looks like it has been around here. But in terms of the actual exhibits, it doesn't seem like anything has been tampered with. Obviously, the Deep Slate Emerald was one such example. Well, regardless, I am going to set off the alarm one more time just to make sure that this case, actually, the alarm doesn't seem to be triggering at all at this point. So we can put that back, and we can pop that back in its glass case, and at last... the Deep Slate Emerald ore has been returned to the museum. Kind of an oversight, maybe, that this case doesn't trigger the alarm when it's broken. Okay, maybe it does. Yeah, I tried a second time and it seems to be working fine. It may just be that the system was taking a minute to reset. Either way, the Deep Slate Emerald ore is returned, and I have a near full set of Rendogs giblets. I need to figure out where exactly I'm going to display these, because right now, obviously, our display cases are full of other artifacts here and there. The fossil does take up a lot of room, but now the basement and attic spaces are sort of full of the security system. I wonder if maybe going up here and creating some sort of gallery for them would be a good idea. Up on the 2nd level, the mezzanine, I suppose. But for now, honestly, just collecting them all up again is putting a smile on my face. So that's where we're going to leave this episode of Empire's SMP, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you folks soon. Take care. Bye for now.